And I care about your fantasy team. I actually do.
That's such a departure. Normally, like this time of year is the time for hot takers to go, you know what? I don't care about your fantasy team. Nobody cares about your fantasy team. I only care about mine.
In that case, I'll tell you about mine. Guys, I reached on someone in the 3rd round.
Oh, tell me all about it. Yeah.
I think he's got a new quarterback, a number 1 receiver. I think he can really...
Oh, Jerry Jeudy?
No?
Oh, wow.
That would have been early.
That would have been early on Jerry Jeudy.
That would have been all the way in. That would have been early, I believe, for Jerry Jeudy. A little too early.
I think he's wide receiver 1.
I
think he's wide receiver 1.
But a pretty
overall?
low.
Overall?
No, for Denver. I see Cortland Sutton going ahead of him. I disagree. Yeah. Very crisp route runner. I love Jerry Jeudy.
Give us more hints.
He is the 2nd generation of his name.
For some reason, the only junior that's coming to hit is Patrick Surtain. But
it's Michael Pittman Jr.
Oh, okay. Wow, I'm high on him. Good answer.
Good answer. I know it's a reach. At 3rd round might be a reach, but it's like, hey, I don't know if he's going to be there on the way back. You know that feeling where it's like, this is a little early for this guy. I had the 5th pick of a 12-team league, so it was like coming in the 3rd round. I didn't want to wait.
Let me tell you something that I just discovered. I have a premium subscription to one of these fantasy sites, and it has like a live draft supplement. And for the first time ever, they unveiled historical data to help you draft. Meaning it went back into the past of other people's tendencies during a draft. So I know whether or not they're going to reach on a tight end or not because they never have before. It was incredible.
Right, because there's this one. There's always the one guy in your draft that's a complete wild card.
Yep.
They'll take Patrick Mahomes 10 picks too early because they're going to go all in on quarterback that year. There's always the guy who you can't predict that doesn't fit. And when you do all these mock drafts and shit, there's no predicting that one guy in your league. Yeah. And so you have their history. I'm sure that's a massive help.
This website, it was like Neo reading the Matrix. Like it was great predictive analysis. I knew where everybody was going. I was seeing everything.
You guys all had your drafts already, right?
I had a little warm up. Like the schedule, a nice little warm up draft. One that you don't value too much, but you got to just get one in. I just told you Michael Pittman.
What did you eat?
It was.
Do you eat or drink during?
Well, it was live. It was a lot. It's my one live draft of the season.
So you drink?
I drank a little.
A little bit.
I honestly didn't drink a lot. If like you are really asking.
No.
I didn't get.
It's like an interrogation.
Yeah, no. I ate though. I ate more than I drank. I'd say. Yeah.
Smoke?
A cigar.
I was going to ask if you all had your drafts because something happened in mine that I feel like might be happening in a lot of fantasy drafts this year, which is Cordell Patterson just staying on the board like 3 rounds past when he's projected on ESPN.
But he's that guy, once everyone takes him, people are like, hey, that's the number 1. It's a good pick.
Yeah. Is he RB1 though? They got this rookie that they're excited about. There's like, why is he? You get.
But in the 6th round, you're excited.
Drop and you're like, you start searching on Twitter.
He dropped like 3 rounds.
Yeah, he dropped late in mine.
And I just think it's because people are confused about him positionally. Like he did well last season, and everyone's like, he's not going to do that again. What is he really going to do this year?
Now, this year, I sort of call it the Broncos receiver conundrum, which is, do you really want to have the most boring player in fantasy?
Yeah.
Because if you have the receiver that's playing with Drew Lock, that receiver is not going to have big games.
But now it's different.
Might give you the 5 catches for 77, and you get your solid 12.7 points in there, but you're not going to have spectacular. So you're looking at your board and going, I'm partially playing this because I want to make money, and I want to beat my friends at this game that we all agree on. But I also would like to have some fun rooting for the people that I have on my team. And I will not be rooting or having any fun with the Broncos wide receiver this year. That changes with Russell Wilson, but I feel like this year it's like Washington receivers or Detroit receivers. Like maybe there's some fun to be had there.
There's always a David Montgomery there that you want. You don't want to take,
like,
but it's like, God, he's
so boring.
I have my list here of top 300, and he's still there. It's like
you ask yourself, do I really want to watch the Bears this year?
It's like, no.
The answer is no.
No, I don't.
You don't.
The most undervalued players, I think, are guys from Seattle and Pittsburgh because you knew what to expect from those offenses for so long, and now those same weapons are there. Claypool's fallen in drafts. DK Metcalf has fallen in drafts. Tyler Lockett's falling. All these guys that you could always count on them to give you these certain numbers. You take the quarterback out of the equation, and now it's to the point that I think they're undervalued because then you start asking yourself, well, someone's got to get the numbers. Someone's got to get him.
Jeremy was telling us about his draft, and he uttered the sentence, "I got Rashad Penny as my RB2," and that made me sad.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
tough.
But it's a flex. It's a deeper league, so I'll cut him some slack.
I have no
but-
idea who RB2 in Seattle is, let alone like for your fantasy team.
Is it still Travis Homer?
Homer and DJ Dallas both had excellent preseasons, but they drafted Kenny Walker, who, when he's not DJing for Y100 or calling Dolphins games in the stadium,
I
had
believe
a
he's on
terrific
Kiss.
year.
I believe he's on Kiss 99.9.
Yeah.
No, he's on the beach.
Yeah.
Kenny Walker.
He is. I mean, let me tell you something. Kenny Walker, he's always on Y100. for
Yeah,
me.
I agree.
I am 36 years old. Kenny Walker is anchoring afternoon drive on Y100.
I had a live draft, like I said. The worst thing, something you would think is the worst thing, is getting heckled on a pick. You walk up. We have the stickers. Put the sticker up. And that's not the worst. I'm here to tell you. The worst is just silence. Because you walk up, you generally have a thought about your pick. You're like, all right, people are either going to think this is a stretch. You have your thoughts on how the room's going to react, so you're kind of listening. You just want one person to be like, oh, good pick. Good pick. And then it's a win.
And then
But
you
if
put Darnell Mooney on the board.
And-
You're
yes.
like, nobody gives a singular
I put
shit.
Chris Olave.
Olave.
Olave. And I
You
was
don't
like,
watch college
big
football without
CFB
telling
guy.
me you don't
yeah, I don't want to say that. I know he's an Ohio State guy. He's fast. But I read an article. But I'm telling you,
That is the whole basis. I drafted Antonio Gibson one year purely on the basis of they really like him as their number one.
I
And,
love
like,
reading an article. You got to read an article like right before the draft.
Oh, and then
or a magazine.
Yeah.
I'm always
school.
drafting. I'm always drafting this week, this Sunday, and there's usually games going on. And usually during the draft, there's someone that gets hurt like as the draft is going on. And this year, it kind of happened. It was very unfortunate. The carjacking attempt with the Commanders' running back Robinson. He got shot several times. It looks like he's going to be okay, but he got shot several times after he got drafted, and you just kind of like you see the game of telephone that goes throughout the draft. And you're like, oh, God, it's always going to happen to somebody. T's and P's, by the way. That was terrible.
But I got silence on Olave. I walked up there. I was like, someone give me he's fast, decent pick, could be big, deep threat, Jameis. Like, just say something. Just give me
Someone
something.
read the same article.
Say
Fast,
a
Ohio
word.
State.
Just say, someone make a noise. Like, ooh, something. I had just silence. And I was like, I just had to say something. I'm like, he's going to be good. Like, I like.
Good. Big things. You start applauding your own
You'll
pick.
see
You'll
as I'm
see.
like walking back.
Sleeper. You start putting your hands to your head. Ooh, get ready to go to sleep, Jeff.
Top 5 round pick next year.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Are you-
remember this one.
How much do you feel responsible for the heckling? Like you have to provide 1/10 of or 1/12 of the heckling,
I'll
right?
throw somebody a solid pick. If I hear silence, just to give them something, even if I don't
Yeah.
think it was a solid
You do
pick.
hate silence.
Yeah, it's like, at least hate my pick. Tell me it's terrible. Just don't give me
So
silence.
you're the same around your friends as you are in here.
Yeah, I hate silence.
Do you ever during the draft go, how's this going?
For my team. I think I just like look at my team and I say it to myself.
How long is your draft? Do you have
It was-
like
it was
timed
pretty-
rounds?
No, you can't do timed
We've
picks
gotten away
live.
from time picks.
How do you do time picks live? What's the punishment? What's the auto pick?
2 minutes, and then it like later around 60 seconds, and then you steal. But now as we've gotten older, we don't have the energy to steal or man the clock.
Oh, I've never.
so-
Yeah, it's more just like heckling.
Yeah.
But to Chris's point, what's the penalty?
No,
You can steal a pick.
Do you
apparently.
do you forfeit a pick?
no more
Maybe the
penalties.
next guy can just go up and grab stickers.
The older that we get, the longer we want the draft to take. I think in most cases, it's just people don't want to be
Really?
around their families. So it just
In your
it was-
mid-20s, you wanted to get it over with. And then in your
Yes.
30s, you're like, let this last as long as you
Yeah,
can.
Yeah, 2-day draft. Next year
Yeah.
is my 20-year anniversary, and we're already laying the groundwork. 3-day event, 7 rounds a day, destination draft,
We meet up every Friday. The draft starts in January.
1 round, untimed round. Take all the time. Actually, go to scouting trips. We'll have a combine. We'll have a fantasy combine.